Mhm.
Am I going to go to hell for not being convinced that hell is real?
Yeah, I mean, that's a tough question. I mean, first of all, I don't, I do, based on my belief in scripture, I do believe that there is some sort of eternal consequence, or you could even say eternal punishment
Hmm.
that that God has talked about in the scripture. I mean, obviously, certainly I do not decide who goes there and who does not. Um, and I think I dispute. Sorry, this is a very, I know that this is feels like I'm waffling, but I'll get there, I promise. And I do also feel like there is, and we talked about this actually when I interviewed you, that the Bible talks about hell, and it does describe it in certain ways, but I think there's good evidence to believe that it's very figurative. So, for instance, like, one of the imageries of hell would be like a place of fire, but then also one of the imageries is a place of eternal darkness, which fire,
Mhm.
darkness, like,
Right, right.
like those images don't really like line up, right? So that suggests to me that it's figurative. And so I think there is, what I do feel like is concrete is that whatever hell is, it's a separation from God, and possibly an eternal separation from God. And so going back to your question, like, do I believe atheists, or really just any person who does not believe in Jesus, or does not
Right,
accept,
right.
Jesus' free gift or whatever of forgiveness, would go to hell? I mean, it seems like that's what scripture is indicating. Um, but, I would just argue that, that maybe the picture that we have is of like, just like this place of fire, and just people just being kind of dropped into it. But I think it's better described as a separation from God. And it's kind of like people who live their entire lives just sort of kind of rejecting God. In the end, he gives them over to that want, and he
Yeah.
separates himself from them eternally.
Yeah.